Good morning all. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm with you another week of Trading Idea with Smart Robi. It is the beginning of the month of February. I think many of you would have gone back to work, and so we did. And thank you for sharing this video in your timeline. And definitely we want to bring you what has happened over the weekend, as well as some of the headline news that has sort of gained the prominent space in the era of trading and investing in the KLSE. Let's take a look at it for this morning. Now, of course, this morning we on the Trading Idea with Smart Robi be looking many of those ideas, which is the Pentagon, and many of you are very familiar with it. Those stocks that are ready to move higher, and of course, not to forget our promotion for our March conference, and I'll make sure you attend this. And we have many great speakers that is coming out, and I'm going to showcase to you what are those people that you'll be expecting to see when we have our March 12th, which is right now we are promoting this market conference in here. Now let's take a look at what we have for you this morning in our news roundup this morning. And definitely this morning is the Bursa. Now this came on this morning on the newspaper, talks about the Bursa likely to trade range bound. We were expecting the market to move sideways, but what has happened, I think many of you know right now, at the KLCI futures has broken up to the 1530. Now let's take a look at our chart that we have previously on our Robi chart. You could see on this type we actually have a support, broke through the ATR stop loss, and this morning let's take a look at where we are on our Smart Robi. Just on top of me here, hit the KLCI today, and you could see this morning the market is up 10 points, switching to a wider chart in here, and that's looking pretty good. And we may know tonight the KLCI may turn green Pentagon and likely to retest 1560. Now this is also in a line with the other markets which already turned green Pentagon later on, which I will share with you, is the US market and the SGX market in here. So the SGX market has already turned green Pentagon, and Malaysia should be the KLCI turning green Pentagon. So keep an eye on that part of it. All right, let's move on to the next news headline that we have is about what our government, or at least the Bank Negara, is trying to control inflation. We all know what inflation has done to the overall market that we've seen. The US market has gone up more than 7% in here, and likelihood really to go up. But I do feel that the inflation has probably topped out, because they are talking about raising interest rate. Now the question is, what do you think of the inflation? Of course, we as normal citizens are feeling the pinch. Everything has gone up. The price of egg has gone up. The price of chicken probably has gone up, especially during this Chinese New Year. Many of you would have bought a lot to celebrate the festive season, may have feel that kind of pinch. And luckily petrol is still pretty much, and many of the food items that we have in Malaysia are well controlled. And as such, you can see from the CPI chart in here, the core CPI is still maintaining below 2%, because many of the items that we talk about are well controlled. And we have this red line here, which is the CPI did retest back in 2017. Will this cause our market to fall some more? Like it or not, historically has shown that our market inflation really have very minimum impact to what it is, more of the foreign funds flows. And of course, with the foreign funds flow, check out the VSA 360 in, for those of you who had seen, the foreign funds are slowly selling less, and maybe when they started to buy up more, we can see the KL continue to move up. But my hunch would probably tell me today, with the 10 points that you see on top here, that is gone up to 1532, foreign funds are coming in to be buying on this market. Now, of course, some of you have already penciled in the stocks that you're looking at. I'm happy to look into it in here. But let's take a look at Sunway Construction on the firm footing in here. Now, again, on the Omicron cases continue to rise, and I think many of you may have come through a couple of media presses saying that likelihood we may even hit 22K COVID cases by end of March. But I think more importantly, many of you would have known, is the hospitalization that is a main concern. And we can see even Singapore has hit more than 13,000, and today we are still waiting for that number. Our cases already hit above 10,000, and that number will continue to go up. But I do think that The market already pricing many of these high cases of Omicron, but I do believe the hospitalization continue to be low, and that way unlikely we will see lockdown. Many measures to reopen the economy. So right now you can see Sunway Construction is again finding footing on the economic reopen. So this was news which was covered by Hong Leong Assurance, talk about the likelihood the couple of projects here, MRT3 and also Sunway Construction joint venture to India are coming into intuition and likely to bring in. So let's take a look at the chart that we've seen. So you have seen right now Sunway Construction on this chart is on a downtrend. Let's take a look at this morning where the Sunway Construction did move higher, and just right on top, switching to a wider chart here, and you can see from here. So it's up 1.4% on this news that we talk about. But more importantly, could this be a buying opportunity? Now, of course, the same news report are showing that the research firm maintained a buy call on Sun Construction with a target price of 177, which is pegged at 15 times PE as the estimate earnings of 2022. So it is right now about 150, so 177, still another 20%, just a little bit of upside in here. You could wait for it to turn green Pentagon, or you could buy at some very nice setup in here for Sunway Construction. If you're tagging on the sector that is recurring, will be the construction in here. Let's move on to our next news. Now, our next news are the industrial product garment maker Kelly. All right, now Kelly, I do think previously they are into the female undergarment, but now they are seeing again the reopening of the economy. But more importantly, let me just share with you is the chart setup that we've seen here. Long period of congestion in here, lots of support before that good news came into everybody's mind, and we saw that line change. Let's take a look at Kelly this morning, CAL. Okay, CAE, Kelly, on the livestock prices in here, and you would see it's up 2.5%, continue to make the nice breakout that we've seen. Of course, those who would have gone into the green Pentagon would have seen that supported at 36 cents in here, really moving up nicely. And of course, the news talks about Kelly doubling their production capacity, which will lead to more revenue in here. But take note, the 48-cent resistance seems to be that kind of on the chart in here, and the plant in Indonesia will increase Kelly capacity by threefold. Would that mean threefolds in revenue? Yet to be seen on that one, but we have to be very careful with this kind of news. But having said that, the trade setup that we've seen just on top of me here does represent a very good, and keep in mind that are the kind of accumulation that we want to see, and perhaps a better entry with this will be a pullback or use our trading plan that we have in the Smart Robi. Now, moving on into the next news is on Elsoft, another technology maker in here, talking about the LED and automated test equipment for Elsoft. Used to be in the same category with Penmaster and Inari. So Elsoft right now is showing good prospect gainer, and the recommendation is to a buy call from a hold. So let's take a look at Elsoft this morning, EOSOF. All right, and switching to the charts, I want to show you in here. Elsoft has sort of came down from a sell-off that we have on the tech sector, and that's also very similar what we've seen also in Inari, Great Tech, UWC in here. But this morning is still trading below 94 cents, down 0.5%. So would this be a support? Of course, you want to look at the bigger, wider chart, or perhaps wait for the green Pentagon in here. But the analyst is maintaining a target price of 1 ringgit and 18 cents. This may be just a good catalyst what we've seen so far with the technology sell-off that we have, and buy call by TA Securities, pegged at 33 times PE for the earnings of 22. They like Elsoft for improving book order, supported by the automated test equipment in here, flagship of smart devices and automotive segment in here on the same report in here. What do you think? Let me know if Elsoft is the kind of shares that you want to be looking to buy. Now let's go on to the next maker. Also, the industrial product is Wellcore. They make industrial hose, the one that you use on the petrol station in here. All being said, it always been a great company with steady dividend payout, and that's why CIMB CGS Research is maintaining a at buy call for a target price of 136. Now, having said that, if you have gone in during the green pentagon, probably around 120, that was on the 26th of December, this was a much better entry. But of course, right now it's another green pentagon. Now take note, we already hit 1 ringgit 36, very close to it in here. The question will be, will we still see more upside from here onwards? The market has sort of broke in somewhere earlier November where the green panel came out, but there was a shakeout in here. All being said, maybe market looking a bit bullish, but yet already to hit that resistance that we see in 136 in here. But if you like this, check out the fundamental. It does pay a 5 to 6% dividend, going into a Wellcore, pegging into the economic recovery open, and also more industrial hose will be used as more vehicles are on the road. All right, let's look on to our US side in here. Now, US stocks future poised for a flat open. As I said before, this morning in the Telegram, the morning podcast update, a very short one, I talk about likelihood, what are the catalysts for the US market by looking also on the WIX, which is the S&P 500 volatility index. So right now you could see from the S&P 500 on the chart here, we do have the S&P 500 turning green pentagon on just at the end of January in here, and I think the selling has been a bit done in here, and looking for a little bit of upside. Of course, this market in here, this week we do see Disney, Chipotle, Pfizer are going to release, and last Friday especially, we saw Amazon was giving a good quarter. Of course, Facebook did take a big beating on the Thursday before Amazon came in and rescued the market in here. There are some good ones. Microsoft and Apple had pretty good earnings in here. And let's take a look at Disney and KO, which is a Coca-Cola stock. But let's take a look at Disney. Now remember, Disney has been beaten down a lot due to the Omicron, and they were talking about lockdown, but Disney has hold up about $135 in here. No green pentagon yet, but KO, which we have seen, Coca-Cola, again Coca-Cola being affected also. But I do take note that this kind of industrial sort of consumer product like Coca-Cola should able to withstand when the economy reopen, and a bit right now it's about $60. Both of these stock, Disney and KO, do pay pretty good decent. Check out the stock fundamental on the US chart, and right now you can access it for free because of after office hour in here. Of course, let's move over to the SGX market and the business time. Talk about a couple of shares to look at, but we pretty like the SGX, and one of the reasons why is because if you look at SGX again, it has turned green pentagon just like S&P 500, and that's one of the reasons we can conclude eventually the KLCI will also follow the SGX and also the S&P 500 in here. So right now the STI index has turned green pentagon, and likelihood the similar category like the Bursa Malaysia share, SGX is the Singapore Stock Exchange, likely will turn green pentagon too in here. A good dividend player. Again, check out the stock fundamentals in here. All right, and of course, let's revisit some of the beginning trade idea that we have last week with Hector. Let me just bring this up here. So Hector continued to move good new high since we spotted and talked about this stock way back on the 27th of December, when the green pentagon in here, you could see this market is up almost 18.6% in here, 27th of December. KPS still holding on. You can see here still green pentagon supported around the 71 cent, and revenue was our new trade idea on the 24th of January. You can see 24th of January here, and picks up somewhere around, yes, 24th, and the market continued to go up, and this may be banking on the digital license that we've seen so far in here. All right, so keep an eye. That's just a very quick short review that we have, and we've seen the stock in here. And of course, not to forget is our past month Pentagon Guider winner and losers. Now, to access this is pretty easy. Let me just show you how to do it. You just go over to the main menu, go into Robi chart, and you go into the KLCI market, and right at the bottom, okay, oh no, you need to go over to the Pentagon Guider, hit that Pentagon Guider, right, and right at the bottom you could see on my side here is the latest month Pentagon Guider winner. Hit that one, and that should give you this chart that you see here. CBIP is giving a gain of 12%. You can see 27th of January, 28th of January, 31st of January, and 20th of January. 20th of January was revenue now is giving less than 5%. We could see that over here. But BPIP, that's a good one that came out. So always good to pay attention to all the green pentagon that comes out in the Pentagon Guider tab menu in here. So let me just show you here. And that one has gone up almost short of 12%. You can see from here onwards, you can see here, that's a nice move to here. That's right, you can see that's slanting. And this is something I think many of the public and the audience which should study when the market turn green pentagon. Of course, not all green pentagon will turn out to be winner. Here are some of them, but if you do scroll down right on this chart that we see here, and let me just push it down a bit here, you can see there are also some loser like Tiguan giving it almost 9% loss in here. Jinwell, Astro, those are in the negative territory, but majority of them. Wellcore it's also in there, started to make a move in here. It did pick it up to BJ Total. So you can see some of these what we call stocks are making gain not only on the oil and gas energy sectors. All right. Okay, let's move on to what we have next for you here is the watch list. Now remember, what we have done on our watch list is to create the stocks, that trade idea that we are looking on, and we intend to use this as an avenue to match to all our likings to the stock trade idea. So of course you could see for the month of January we have Inari, Revenue, P-Trans, and that's how we track it. And remember, we use the watch list, what we call the trading plan, which is the upper weekly resistance for likelihood our target price maybe, and our support is where we are likely to cut loss, okay, if the market don't go. Our KPS and GCB in here. So you can see right now we have P-Trans on the right side of my screen here. Revenue has turned green pentagon on 20th of January. P-Trans has turned red pentagon 25th of January. KPS is still 13th of January in here. And right now we're going to create a new stock trade idea, which is the 7th of February, called Falco, for our February list. Okay, so we switch on the February list here. Right, you can see I already have Falco, and what we want to do right now is to create the weekly resistance. Okay, so what we're going to do is go over to Falco. All right, that was the trade idea that came out, Falco here. Right, and let me just bring up this chart here, Falco, FAVCO. Okay, our trading plan here is 246 or 262. Okay, so right now you can see Falco turn green pentagon, so maybe 2 265. Okay, weekly resistance is 249. Okay, and that one weekly resistance is 249. You take out that one. So what we want to do right now is to put the R2, okay, R2 as our, and then the support, all right, support. So what we have is 262, okay, Falco 262 here, and our support. So we just 262, just remember off our head here, and we look at the exit strategy for our resistance will be 230, okay, 230 and 262. All right, so let's go over to our watch list, and we go over to our February 222. In here we can set the stock alert. All right, so 262, and the below is 232. All right, and we hit that one, so we put this as our trade idea. 7 February, okay, 7 February. So we'll save it, and there you go. All right, that's one of our trade idea. We save it in here, so you can see right now from the chart wise, we have saved it at 262 and 232. Right now it's 242. Of course, when the market hits it, you will get an alert in here and to be notified. So turn on that watch list in here, then you will able to set that accordingly to your trade idea that you have. All right. Now, of course, we want to talk also about activating your monthly pass together with the new feature of the watch list, so you can basically attend our talk on the March 12th. That's right. So one of our first speaker is Mr. Jung from KGB. He will be talking about the global semiconductor shortage in here, and a little bit also you're able to ask on about the ongoing likelihood of the business that you in here. So something giving you an insight to the semiconductor industry in here. And of course, our next feature speaker, which is a very well prominent Wyckoff guru, Sifu. His name is Ramon Bogamazo, and he'll be speaking directly from San Francisco in here, from his place at the Golden State University, where he is a adjunct professor on the all matters relating to Wyckoff. A great knowledge in the world of Wyckoff and VSA, especially those of you who are willing to learn all about charts. So make sure you attend our market conference on the 2022 on the 12th of March in here, as we'll be featuring some other new speakers, especially in this line. So make sure don't miss it there. All right. Now let's go on also to our upcoming next weekend is our masterclass, the proven way to trade in the US market, following the footsteps of the father of VSA. Let me just move up here. You can see of Mr. Tom Williams. So we'll be showcasing some of the great teaching they have looking at the US market, and very much of our members, you can come back and re-attend unlimited as long as you maintain your subscription. Now, of course, those of you who have not attended, this is another good opportunity to come to our masterclass 3-day course and learn all to capitalize on the year 2022 opportunity that we've seen so far in here. What should you be waiting for? Learn more about the masterclass and how to trade like Tom Williams or many of our coaches in here. All right, so this is definitely not to be missed. And of course, right now we are coming to the segment where some of you may have some stocks we look at. Definitely we do have this Shun here. Now do let me know, Shun, ZZS, and what profession do you do? All right, because that's one of our condition in here. Please state your profession or whether you're a premium member, and if you're from the public, you get 1 stock review. Of course, if you're top fans and do share this, you get 3 stock review in here, and of course for our members, unlimited stock review in here. Let me know, just type inside there. I'll be happy, more than enough to review your stocks. Just let me know whether you're from the public or you're from the top sharer. Okay, it's from the pharmacy business. Okay, great. Let's take a look at it. Thank you. And the first one is TechCam. So we're just waiting for the stocks. We got Charimin also, cool. Okay. Yes, just turned green. Pentagon looking pretty good. All right, for TechScam in here, you got an upthrust, so maintain the continue of the trend, right? This looks pretty good, pretty straightforward in here, right? And take note, you have already the market stages hitting the red zone. Okay, so to me, when you hit the red zone, that could be a possible area of very quick profit taking, like we saw up here. The market may just move sideways, and generally you want to be buying off if you can, right? Buy off just as it's about to trend towards the green zone in here. I know these are some of the big move yesterday, up at 8%, so no surprises, the market will tend to undergo a little bit of profit taking. Now generally I don't want to buy stocks that push up too much like we see in here, so it's important that you learn how to understand smart money, trap a lot of the unsuspected people, and I do hope you are not trapped by this. No doubt the green Pentagon are still there in here, but always have better selection of stocks. All right, since you're from the public, you're allowed only one stocks. Okay, next one we have our member in here, and Swang, I did hope you got your name. Do become our members in here, then you will have unlimited stock review. And next one we're going to look at is MC. Now Masterclass SMI, that's right, SMI. And we also have what do let me know. Oh yes, you are a retiree in here, a regular in our show in here. So make sure you join us for our masterclass in the coming February. If not, then come for our March conference for the Vicom. This one looks pretty good. Continue to run your profit in here. You could see this one right now, it did had crossover, but the market held on despite what we see in here, and then further up. It's a bit overbought. Do take note of this one in here. Do be careful in here for these stocks in here. It may run a bit more, but you got climatic volume in here and possibility if you do get a little bit of selling. And this one is a steel industry, right? So it's really moving up on a lot of the news that we've seen on commodity prices go up. Okay, so we have also Charimin. All right, Charimin, green Pentagon continue to go up, but take note, be careful also. The market has sort of gone through this, what we call the market stages here. This market stages in here, and generally we do perhaps have a little bit of sell-off in the coming days, a bit overextended, overbought, and it's always good to know this, so you take precaution, and having a chart or having an indicator for our masterclass will definitely help you a lot more. All right, so if you have any of our stocks, do let me know. All right, pencil those in, but let me know the profession that you have. All right, so let's move on, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's right, for all of our material, education, and also sectors that we have inside here. And do share this Telegram chat room for all things that is educational, good trading ideas, ready to help you to take advantage of the opportunity that we see in year 2022. So that's all we have for today in our breakfast show. Don't forget to review us on our Google Play Store. You can see that was the QR code. We really appreciate for your feedback. If we can do anything, do join and send us an email or WhatsApp to Zach, how we can able to help you to capitalize more of year 2022. And of course, for those of you who are in the Chinese New Year mood, let me wish you a happy Gong Xi Fa Cai and more great things to come. So join me on this coming Wednesday for our live FB at 9:30 and also our breakfast show. See you then. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.